Hi, there we are. Welcome everybody to another
Thank you.
amazing show today. This is Real Women Atlanta Live, and I am your host, Charmaine Moss, and I've got my girl, Deidre Gary, my co-host. Deidre, do your thing. Can Deidre hear me? Can't hear you, sis. What's going on? It's all that.
Hello, all that Christmas stuff, right? Welcome to the neighborhood, everyone. It's a great day in the neighborhood. How do you guys like my ugly sweater and my Christmas tree? Oh, Christmas tree.
Make me want to run and get my lights.
Yes,
my Christmas lights necklace. It's somewhere around here.
Oh God. Listen, we got to get in the spirit of things. Let's with everything that has been happening this year. I think the least we can do is get in the spirit of Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely. We need it. We need it. At my community, I had a balcony holiday concert. It's social distancing now. We can't get too close, of course, but people came out on their balconies, and I had a friend of mine, Richard Shaw Jr., that played on the saxophone, and it was like amazing. And my residents were just like, we needed this in this time,
Right.
So we've got to grab all the spirit we can.
I love it.
Absolutely. I've been running today, guys. I mean, it's been a great day, busy, but great day so far. Yeah. My little mini-me, my daughter is doing a winter coat drive. She's giving out coats today at Lowe's, our community Lowe's. And so I've had to help her today, and then get back home to get set up for this. But all is well,
All is well.
Yes, y'all doing some powerful things. Y'all really interjecting that Christmas unity spirit out there in the community. Loving it.
That's what it's about.
I laid in the bed and ate hot wings.
Girl, why you didn't pass me some? Ooh, I want some.
So, Ms. King, you are the first guest. We've got a great lineup today. You all have been doing some amazing things, working with our sister to this show, Miss Wanda. Yes,
hail to the queen, hail to the queen.
Look at her. She already, you all look absolutely beautiful. Oh, Wanda, thank you, girl.
Yes, Miss Wanda.
We love her spirit. We love everything about that sister. She is
she's lovable.
All that.
Yes.
Yeah. So last week, actually the week before we kicked it off with Felicia. And Felicia's one of the co-authors to this collaboration, this book that you guys have done, Wake Up Winning Volume 2.
Yeah. Two.
And so last week we had 3 of the co-authors on, which was incredible. Some of the things that they revealed about themselves. Ooh, these are some powerful,
right?
It's people just don't know. They see all of this. What is it they say? They see the glory, but they don't know the story.
Don't know the story.
Yeah. And I'm just glad that Wanda has brought you all together to share your stories, to give input, so that the readers of this amazing book will be inspired, encouraged, to know that, they're not the only ones that are going through things. And if you all have survived and thrived, they can do the same thing.
Yes, that's the whole spirit of it. Win forward. Wake up another day to win. Just wake up another day to win. Because we can't let yesterday define what tomorrow will be. We don't know what tomorrow will be. We're not all sitting here as prophets and seers, so we have to get up and go and see what the end is going to be. Just go and see. I say just fancy yourself. Just go see what happens. Wake up one more time. Because that time you wake up may be the day that you break through. That day may be the day the opportunity come forward. That day may be the right time and the right place that you meet the right person or open the right door. And I'm not saying that being cutesy or churchy. That really happened for me. I am in Georgia because of a hurricane, and a man came to me with a pink flyer, and he said, "I would send you anywhere in the world. Where would you like to go?" I was standing in line, didn't know what the building held. I don't know if it was going to register for FEMA. I don't know if they was going to give us ice or food or water. I didn't know what the building was. I was just in the line. And a man came up to me with a flyer. And he said, "I'll send you anywhere in the world. Where would you like to go?" And I said, "Atlanta." And that's why I'm here today.
Wow. Well, Miss Candy, let's go ahead. Your name is Candy Zion. How do you pronounce
it? Candy Zion. Yes.
Yeah. Let's tell our listeners, our viewers, a little bit about yourself. Go ahead and take this opportunity to do that.
Okay, well, my name is Candy Zenon. I'm an author and a life coach and the CEO and founder of Changes Seasons Life Coaching, where I help single moms strengthen their faith, family, and finances through mentorships, one-on-one coaching, books, and live events. I'm a mother of 3 girls who I lovingly, affectionately call the Candy Girls. The last one graduated about 2 days ago. So I'm about to start a new chapter in my life as an empty nester. So I created a life list to approach that life so I don't be holding on to them. Like, how Celia was holding on to Daddy when Mr. was trying to tear him apart.
Yes. You're like, girl.
So be shut never apart. No. So hopefully I launched them into life successfully, and then I start a whole new second chapter of my life. But my passion is to serve the heart of God by encouraging the hearts of his people, and I do that through teaching life skills.
Awesome.
Amazing. So we've got one of the other co-authors, Miss Tina Lewis, is joining us now. With the help of there she is.
Hi, Tina. To hear you today. Awesome.
Hi,
hey, how are you guys? Hey, ladies.
Listen, first of all, let us apologize. I don't know where the technical difficulties were coming from on last week, but Tina was joining us. She was supposed to join us on last week as one of the co-authors to this book. And there were some issues, and I just knew that we had to have her on today. So Tina, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Pastor Charmaine, for the invite. I mean, and thanks to Wanda Hollis, the visionary of this amazing project, Wake Up Winning. Like, no matter what, like, isn't that what it's all about?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, that's so true.
So Candy was just telling us some things about herself. Tina, why don't you take this moment to tell the viewers something about you?
I was doing what Candy was doing. Slide.
Me and that never part.
That's right.
Well, awesome. I'm glad you, to the viewers that are listening, I just want to say this really quick before I tell you about little old me. I just want to give a huge shout out to Pastor Charmaine. You guys, we just see her and we just think that she just landed here, but you gotta take time to get to know her and listen to her story. She is a beast. She is a trendsetter, a game changer, and a visionary. She was involved in everything from, being from motherhood to visionary to politics. You guys, do you really know who we're on the platform with? We're surrounded around some incredible women for a reason. This is the season of the woman, and we have been the pillar, the backbone for many, many centuries. And you guys, it's not stopping now, right? And so a little bit about me, as she said, I am Tina D. Lewis. My background is actually medicine. I graduated from USC Keck School of Medicine here in Southern California, but I'm also was a teenage mom. I got pregnant when I was 18, had my daughter when I was 19. I've lived in the projects, you guys. I was on welfare. And I just knew without a shadow of a doubt, you know, my mom has always taught me that the best way to reach success was through the hands of education. And so I was extremely smart. I make no apologies about it. I just knew that I needed a way out. You know, for some, especially in our communities, like for male, it's athletics, right? And so for me, it was definitely my education. I just continued to learn and be a sponge because I knew that it was so much more than me watering dirt, because the area where I lived, it was not arable, meaning nothing grew, including the people.
Wow.
And so today, you guys, I am sitting here overlooking the marina, looking out at a body of water and boats, and I have a small penthouse. But what I do is I am the founder of Royalty Coaching. It is a premier sales, marketing, and social media firm. I help women entrepreneurs simply grow their business to a multiple six-figure income. And as the bottom line strategist, what I do is I just help people earn more by working less, because in my world, I just totally believe in automation or delegation. That's how you make more money, right? In less time, and create the lifestyle that you deserve. If I can do it driving an hour to Marina Del Rey from the projects, passing up, looking at the disparity, like no grass, greenery, no water, driving an hour just to come eat in the marina and saying, one day I'm gonna live there. One day I'm gonna live there. And I'm so grateful that God is faithful even when we're not. And so that's what I do. I will take anybody's business and I will help them create a multiple stream of income from that, how to pivot, position, and prosper. That is my expertise.
Beautiful.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. First of all, I have to say thank you, Tina, for all of that you said. I almost looked around to see who you were talking about.
You're so humble.
Listen, because, you know, we just put the car in drive and just keep moving, you know. Yes. We don't, most of us, we're servants. And so rarely do we stop to stop and receive the accolades and, you know, for what we do. We're just doers. We're servants. We just go. Wow, just thank you for that. Thank you. I appreciate
it. Says, you know, let another man praise you and not your own mouth. And it also says, humble yourself before the mighty hand of God and he will exalt you. And so that's exactly why you're continuing to elevate. And I stand at a gap and intercede on your behalf and ask God to you continue to use you. And most importantly, that you're obedient. And that's exactly why you have this platform that everyone, you know, I believe that all of us that have been guests on your show should reach out to our network and say, hey, there's a show called Real Women Atlanta. It doesn't matter where you are, but you need to be on their show. Do you mind if I share what happened last week?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Last week, I was scheduled to be on the call, and I don't know what, I know that it was, you know, it was just some interference. You know, we were not against Fresh and Blood. So some interference, I could not get in no matter what. And when I got in, they could not hear me. However, I had one of my clients, I do one-on-one masterminds because I don't believe that one size fits all. And sometimes people are not visually learners, right? They're not visual learners. They have to be able to be here to work one-on-one. And so I give them that. So I had a client here. Her name is Brandy Foster. She lives in Atlanta and she was here. And so as I'm trying to get on, she's here trying to help me. And she was listening to the testimonies of those women. And I'm looking at her face and her countenance changed. And she was just like, me too. Yeah, that happened to me. And I was blown away. I'm like, God, just have your way. And after a certain point, I just stopped trying to get in. And I just called in on my phone because I couldn't get in through there because I could not hear. But I called on my phone, and that's how we were able to listen. I was a caller. I dialed in to listen, and she was blessed. Her life was, I mean, she hadn't talked to anybody about the things that had happened and the stories that were being shared. It just brought chill bumps. Like, those women, they are victorious. And it just shows that God has his hand upon their life, the things that they've been through. Like, we all have our story, right? We all have our story. And I believe that, he knows exactly what we can handle. Some of the things that they were talking about, I would have been in jail for life because I would have murdered someone, literally, period. So he didn't give me that story. He gave me another story. Another story that I'll share at another time. But her life was blessed. So I really believe that sometimes it's really not about us, and God doesn't give it to us unless he can get it through us. Sometimes people make it stop right here. It's all about me. It stopped right here. No, you have to be a conduit. You are a purveyor. And so she was blessed. And so I'm grateful that for the technical difficulties, right? It's about, perception. It's about how you receive it. It's not what happens to you. It's how you respond to it. And I'm just resourceful. I got into the show, whether the devil wanted me there or not, to share my testimony, but I got into the show. I'm one of my phones. I have two phones. I got in on one, and Brandy, my client, was blessed. And what this show gave her was something that I could not give her. I could not give her that because that's not my story. But she was blessed just through the network. And so I want to thank you and Dr. Gray. You guys are amazing. You guys show up and show out every single Saturday without fail.
Wow. Well, I am blessed to be a part of this platform. I didn't know all of this. I didn't know your testimony, Pastor Charmaine. I didn't even know you was a pastor. Wanda connected with me, and she asked me if I wanted to be a part of the show, and I was like, sure. So thank you for sharing that, Tina. I didn't know any of this. So this is a blessing.
Absolutely. So, okay, so each one of you have written a part in this book, correct?
Yes.
So, Miss Candy, let's start with you. Can you tell us and tell the viewers a little bit about your part in the book, your story?
Well, my story was just giving hope to the single moms. I, like Tina, was 18 when I got pregnant, 19 when I gave birth to my first child as a single, unwed mother. I was a teen mother, but I later got married. I ended up marrying and having 2 more children, but by the age of 27, I was now newly divorced and a mother of 3 children. I had to come back home. I left with 1 and I came back with 3. Now I'm still single. And so I wanted to just give the single moms hope and just let them know that although this has happened to you, that is a part of your story. It's not the sum total of who you are, but it does makes up who you are. And it can be your why and your incentive to do more, want better. So my story was that although I was a single mom from a small town, 4 main streets, 2 highways, there were people that came to me along the way and told me how to do things, tweak this, organize this, add this, take away that. I was a single mom with a chaotic home. And I say, God, when I go to work, it's organized. When I go to church, it's organized. But when I go home, it's chaos. So the very next day, a woman walked up to me who had been transferred to my department. Her department has shut down. And she walked up to me. She didn't ask me my name. She didn't give me her name. She just walked to me and said, this is how I organize my day. And that began a 2-year mentorship and a forever friendship. And those things, the sum total of what she taught me, and the 83-year-old man who taught me about real estate, and Miss Mary who taught me about investments, and everything that I've learned along the way, I kind of put that together and packaged that to teach that to other moms. So I go into safe haven houses, domestic shelters, and I teach teens who are aging out of foster cares, life skills, and also men who are in halfway houses. So I just tried to share the sum total of what's been shared with me to just help people live a little bit better.
Wow.
Charmaine, you're on mute.
I just figured it out. You know, I love what you're saying, and you know, Deidre can definitely relate to what you're saying, Deidre, because Deidre has she's working on a book right now that says, "Don't call me a single mom." Yes. So Deidre,
I don't mind being called single. Yeah, I don't mind being called single because I really truly believe single means whole and complete. I'm not the lady that tilt the head to the side and say, "Oh, you're a single mother," as if you have a dying disease. Single means whole, complete. Know where you've been, where you're going to, how far you come, and how far you need to go. I used to be harassed by a coworker that would always say, "Oh, but you're a single mother. You're a single mother," and that used to make me so mad until I went look up this word "single." All right, I just wanted to throw that in there. But I've been harassed with the whole single mother title too. But yeah, so I love the book title.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's kind of what my platform is, and it's sad. Our stories are somewhat similar in that matter of, you know, you just showing as a single mom, you know, this is what you can do, and you don't have to accept that title. That's what my platform is. You know, because a lot of times people, they'll say the two words single mom, and then the room is crickets. It's like, oh,
yes, exactly.
Oh, she's a single. Oh my God. Everybody walked on eggshells. You know, she can't do this. She can't do that. So I am the poster child of what you can do and what you can achieve.
Amen.
And when you're down, you can persevere and push through with God. There's nothing you can't do. I have 5 beautiful kids. Wow. Starting from college all the way down to elementary school, 20 to 7 years old. And let me tell you, it took nobody but the Father, okay, to help navigate me through that. But I don't want women to accept that. And that's the mindset that I was teaching within that, is that you can, just because the room shatters when those 2 words were said, it doesn't mean that your world has to shatter. There's nothing that you cannot do. So that's a part of the platform.
I love it. I love it.
No limits. No limits. There are no
limits.
And it doesn't matter what the circumstance or situation is, there are no limits. Because when you serve an amazing God, when you serve an awesome God, and I feel the Spirit of the Lord, oh God, He is limitless. So therefore, you're limitless. There's nothing that you can't do. Everything that that God tells you that you can do it. You have to just simply believe it. You can do it, you know. And I'm amazed. I was a single mom. I am a single mom. My daughter is now 38. I don't want to tell my age, but so I have to whisper that. But she is 38 years old, and she's a single mother as well. But you're right. There seems to be a stigma attached to those 2 words, single mom, like shame on you. And you know, I was telling someone the other day, even when you look at the word of God, we know that that Mary was that the Spirit of the Lord impregnated Mary, which meant before Mary got married to Joseph, she was a single mom. Okay. And somewhere after the age of 12 or 13, when Jesus went missing, and Joseph and Mary were looking for him, and they found him in the temple. Some sometime after that, you don't hear or the word doesn't mention anything about Joseph ever again.
That's true.
Meant Mary was a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know where this stigma came from or this shame came from, but God has used single women, single moms in such great ways.
Ooh, the foolish.
Yeah, Barack Obama.
On the wise, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. I mean, we should just be moms. Like a mom has nothing to do with your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm about to be on fire. I'm about to just burst right now because, you're so right. Dr. Gray, that's just who we are. And she's like, oh, I'm not a doctor. No, we are. You're an expert in your field. You have 5 kids. And you're writing a book to teach other women how to own being a mom. How does a mom have to deal with your relationship, whether you're single, whether you're married? It does not. You're a mom. We are moms. And so I love the fact that you're going to break that stigmatism because for so long we've been trying to justify what it means and how to accept it, but you're right. We are simply just moms. We are moms, just like they're just dads. No one say, oh, now they start to say single dad. The bottom line is you're a dad. You're a dad or you're a mother. But I wanted to also share, Kendi, you are absolutely correct. And my childhood, the book, right? One of the questions was your childhood and what do you do? Hey, look at Wanda. And so, so we were talking about how difficult it is, right? As a single mom, the struggles and like Pastor Charmaine, she's like, it's limitless, and Dr. Gray was saying, you know what, listen, it's not attached to who we are. And so it is difficult. We've all overcome something. You have 5. I congratulate you. Like I look up to that because I wish that I would have believe that, children were a gift and they're a gift from God and it's good to have family because I have a daughter and I did not want any kids until I was a cardiothoracic surgeon, until I was a millionaire, until I had all these things in order. But God said something different. I got pregnant my first time engaging in the activity and I was so angry. I was so upset. I'm like, how can he allow me to get pregnant right now? And I'm like, how can he allow me? I didn't use protection, stupid. Like,
you do what they do, you get what they get. That's what I tell my girls.
And so even though, I had my daughter, it was even more reason. Like she was a catalyst instead of a deterrent, right? She was a catalyst. She was the reason why I had to succeed. Like failure was absolutely no option. Success was the only option because now I had someone depend on me that could not depend on themselves. So I'm talking about taking 3 buses from the projects. I'm talking about lying, saying I wanted to get jobs and grow with a company. I was looking for longevity because I could not afford to make a college student pay. I needed some real employment. So I would go to companies and say, I'm looking to grow. I'm looking for longevity. I want to grow with a company. I want to become the manager. I want to become this, when I only wanted a summer job. I just needed a summer job because I was going back to school. Success was, for me, was through the hands of education. And so I knew at the end of the summer, I was going back to school no matter what. So I think about all the things that I've done just to get by, these survival tactics that are ingrained in me from the mere fabric, the DNA that we all come from. Being an African-American woman, coming from our lineage, we have these protective and survival mechanisms just come out of nowhere. They're ingrained in our DNA. And so the book is simply about waking up winning, you guys. And I know a lot of people, and you may not like what I'm about to say now, but we need to stop being spiritual punks. I was sharing that with Pastor Charmaine the other day. We are spiritual punks at times. We're like, well, as long as I wake up, I'm winning, that's it. No. You woke up to do something, right? It gave you life, and life is living. And how do you live your life? That's great. You woke up, but what are you going to do with your life? Right? Our life is God gives to us, but what we do with our lives and how we impact the lives of other people is our gift to God. So wake up winning no matter what. That means when you wake up, that's the easy part, because God has already ordained that that's the easy part. Now go and winning, That's the hard part, because that's when the obstacles, that's when the betrayal, the lies, and all the other things are going to happen. That's when you're going to get in your own head and feel insignificant, especially as Candy says, as a single mom, as coming from, poverty or lower socioeconomic areas. It's not everyone's story, but it's mine. But as Candy said, I'm here to let every single woman, Pastor Charmaine and Dr. Gray, I'm here to let every single woman know that it's not how you start, it's how you finish. I want you to look at every single person that you admire, that you look up to. I want you to look at their meager beginnings. And no matter how impossible it may seem or how bleak, I want you to think about, Oprah, molested, raped. You guys, she is Oprah. She is Oprah, and her story has impacted millions of people's life. I want you to take a look at, where Amazon started, from a garage with Amazon on the wall, an old outdated computer. Look at it now. I want you guys to take a look at all of these people that we look up to, and every successful person has a story. We see their glory, but we don't know their story. I want us to stop comparing our beginnings to someone else's ending. And so I want you to wake up and win, right? Waking up, that's great. All praises and glory due. But I want you to go out and win. And that means that's subjective. It depends on what you want to win at. It could be simply blessing someone else. Like Candy has had angels put in her life at the proper time. It could be just simply as, I'm going to start my business and I'm going to have that bulldog tenacity to make sure that it's successful. And so you guys, I'm not here to take the show. I just want to thank, Pastor Charmaine for allowing us to be here. But I want you to get on this show next week and next week and next week and next week. I want you to invite someone else, because the guests that she has on this show, we didn't come to play. We didn't come here to sugarcoat. We came to tell you that it's hard. But so is being downtrodden. So is being depressed. So is being broke. So is being poor. You choose your heart. You get to choose
your heart. Girl, you're gonna make me do the church run. Choose your heart.
Well, Pastor Charmaine has already done it. I think it's time for me to pay tithes. Where's my purse?
Yes! Pass the plate.
So I'm passing the plate back over to you, Pastor Charmaine and Dr.
Well, I definitely want to kind of just continue on and expound on some of the things that you were speaking about, Tina and Candy, with this book. And with what we have seen with all of you incredible women are some incredible stories. Candy, I know that you were speaking of your portion in the book has to do with single moms. And then Tina, if you can kind of tell us what your portion is in the book and what it's about as well.
Okay, my portion of the book is kind of an anomaly because I talk about the past. I talk about, living on the projects. I talk about being on welfare. I talk about, getting these jobs to make ends meet. But for me, I wanted to let them know, like I said, it's not where you start, it's how you finish. Mm-hmm. And I give them a blueprint of exactly what to do, because for often so many times people tell us, oh, go start a business. And so we go start a business. My first business was when I was in college and I was working at a clinic and I started a maid service. I didn't know anything about an LLC. I didn't know about being taxed as a C Corp versus an S Corp. I didn't know about any of that. I'm telling you, I mean, I made a lot of money, but I had them write the checks to Tina D. Lewis and it went into my personal account. And I'm like, no one told me that I was doing anything wrong. I just, I was studying for my medical boards. My place was a mess. One of the nurses' mother came and cleaned. She charged me $40. People started saying, oh, that's your maid. That's your maid. I was like, no. They was like, ask her how much she would charge to clean my house. She charged me $40. I told them $100. I gave her $40 and I kept $60. And with that $60, I went to like the dollar store, bought cleaning supplies and things of that nature, saved the money, got an ad in the yellow pages. Wow. And I started to grow my business. But when I started medical school, I just gave it to someone. Like, here's our clients, you can have it. That was basically it. And so I want to be what I wish I had. Mm. I definitely want to be what I wish I had, the leader, the sister, the friend that I wish I had and what I needed. And so I want to give women a platform or a blueprint, if you will, strategy on exactly what to do. Yes, think of a name. I'm going to send them to a specific link where they can think of catchy names that are already SEO optimized. so they can be found. So that's number one. Because people just think of names. Oh, that's my grandson name. Yeah, it's gonna be called that. Well, okay, that's fine. I just want to, like I said, you guys, I am so like full because I've paid hundreds to thousands of dollars on personal development, mentorship, coaching, seminars, conferences. I've been mentored by some amazing, amazing people that are billionaires. And I know it's only by the grace of God that put me in those situations. How I went to Necker Island with Sir Richard Branson was only the favor of God. It was $25,000.
Wow.
How I was pulled on stage with Donald Trump before he became president was only by the grace of God. How I met Mark Cuban was only by the grace of God, you guys.
Wow.
How I met Oprah was only by the grace of God. And so my chapter is simply giving people a blueprint, something that if they follow step by step, I will take them by the hand and guide them step by step on how to make some ridiculous income from working less and not harder. Because see, our fabric, especially as women and African-American Black women, we believe that if we work harder, we'll get more. We got to work harder. We got to work harder. We got to be stressed out to be successful. But that is not the truth. But if you think about where we come from, we were the ones that, were raped, were thrown away. We didn't have a place. So we're all scrapping and trying to fight and get our place. So we need to recognize who we are, who we truly are. We birthed this entire society. That's who we are.
That's right.
We are queens. We are royal priesthoods. That's who we are. So I believe that if I give them the blueprint of exactly step by step on what to do and not thinking that they have to already know it, like we give people information, but then they have to go research and Google and try to find out how to do it on their own. I don't want to be that. I want to be a guide. I want to be a conduit. I want to take them by the hand and show them let's set up your business. Let's set up your business account. Let's get you, registered on 411. 411, people don't even know what that is, but you want your business to be bona fide. So if you apply for business credit, they can pull up your business and you have a physical address. You're not using your home address, even if it's a virtual office. Sure. Most people don't know that. They don't know about, not using your personal credit. Let's get a business credit card, move all of your debt, personal debt over to your business credit card. Your business credit card could be maxed out. It's okay. Just pay those small payments. But let's make you look on paper for your personal profile as if you have a 700 FICO score. I mean, we all have bad credit. There's so many things. So my chapter, just to answer your question now, because as you can tell, I'm so passionate about making sure that we are set up correctly, that we do not fail, that we have the opportunity, that we truly have the opportunity to succeed. Because there's so many, if I go through people's businesses, my clients, there's so many holes. They have their LLC and they're shouting it from the rooftop, but it's still taxed as a sole proprietor because they don't know the difference and no one has shared that with them. And I want to be able to do that. So my chapter is on helping them set up their business, helping them, giving them something that they can have a cash cow that when they need money, they don't have to work harder. They don't have to struggle. They don't have to go beg Peter to, and Paul, that they could simply go ahead out there to that cash cow and either sell more books. There's a lot of authors, but they're not making money from the book.
That's right. That's right.
I could go on and on. So go ahead, back over there. Let me pass.
Awesome. No, it's okay.
No, I'm listening. I'm gonna buy the book too.
Exactly. We want to hear what's in it, and our viewers. By the way, guys, if you call into 678-381-1973, feel free to give us a call if you have any questions or comments, or you want to speak to Candy or Tina or Charmaine and I. But it's not about us today. It's about them. So don't be calling us asking us no questions.
Actually, look, she said that as she having her Christmas year.
This is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And what Wanda has done to put all of you amazing people together, it's just awesome. And your stories are phenomenal. Now that we kind of have a gist of Candy, we know what your portion is. Tina, we know what your part is as well. Let's kind of move the conversation a little bit. Okay. We all have in common that we are single mothers, things of that such. A part of my platform with Don't Call Me a Single Mother is the matters of my children's heart. Okay. It's very important to me to where I even have a prayer directed to the Father, to where God, do not allow me to get so busy or so consumed that I cannot feel or see the matters of my children's heart. Would you guys like to kind of talk on that as well, on that personal side? Candy? She looks like
I will share. My daughter is absolutely amazing. And at one point, our relationship was totally like difficult, like extremely difficult. And it stemmed from, you know, things that she went through as a childhood. And it's totally like my fault. And I take full responsibility. Today, it's not that way. We are totally working on our relationship. She is amazing. Well, she has her master's degree and she is a certified life coach. She does her little webinar, not little web. She does her webinars, you know, it's our little baby. We're like our little, and they're like, oh, no. This is real. Certified. So the matters of her heart is that I had to take a step back, like a slingshot, right? I had to take a step back and say, you know what? She has her own identity. It is her. She is she, right? And so I am aggressive. I know what I want, but most importantly, I know what I don't want. I know what I would not tolerate, you know. And so my daughter is really a giver, and I love who she's become. And I just remember how I was able to change who she was, because she was spoiled. Like, she was my only child and I was successful. And so I would buy her everything. I like, you know, nice things. And I believe that when we're in poverty, you know, we buy those nice things to compensate for us not having the big home or having grass, you know, things like that. So when she was in school, like, she was just, I don't know, she was just becoming something that, you know, she wore a uniform. And because she wore a uniform, I would get her like Coach shoes and a little purse or diamond earrings. And I'm like, everyone was like, Tina, that's too much. I'm like, whatever, you know, but I would still do it. And so after a while, she just started becoming like, she was, you know, this, or, you know. And so what I did is, it was Thanksgiving. And I said, you know what? We're going to go feed the homeless. She was like, homeless? I said, yes, we're going to go feed the homeless. She's like, Mom, okay. So we went to feed the homeless. And when we drove up, it was a long, long line and there were kids. And she was like, oh, Mom, that's not the line for the homeless people. And I said, no, it is. She goes, no, they have kids. And I said, sweetie, they are homeless. That means their entire family, their household is homeless. Yeah. And so if I was to be homeless and sleep on the street, where would you stay with your grandma? Or would you stay with me? She was like, oh no, I would want to be with you. And I said, well, they want to be with their parents too, and they are homeless. We go in, we feed, the time is shut off. And my daughter, I didn't even know it was my daughter at the time, but somebody said, whose daughter is that? And it was this girl in the middle. She was like, no, we cannot close down. There are people in the line. We got to feed them. And a lady went over to her and she said, oh, but if we were to do that, we would be here all day long and we want to go home with our families too. She was like, well, I will stay. And somebody was like, whose daughter is this? And I looked and it was my daughter. And she ran over to me. She was like, Mom, they're trying to close it. And there's so many people in line and they're hungry and they're homeless. And she said, I know, I have an idea. So she started grabbing all of these plates. She put these plates down and everybody started putting food on. And she said, don't throw it away. Just put it here. I'm gonna run it to them. And she just started running to it. Next thing you know, we all started doing it and we didn't close. And so that was pivotal in my life. My daughter still volunteers. She still goes downtown on her own with some of her girlfriends, and it's bringing tears to my eyes because there is nothing like seeing, you know, your seed just have a heart for people, from being like her mom, you know, was, you know, stuck up because I was like, no excuses. Like, why can't you get out there and work? If I have a daughter, if I live in a projects and I can work, then what's wrong with you? Right? I never understood until, you know, God gave me a vision. He's like, you know what? Those are the people you have to go and help. And so to see my daughter doing that was amazing. So you talked about the matters of her heart. She is a servant-driven leader. She loves just simply family, and her core values are so strong. it's just unbelievable. But it took time, because sometimes, and Dr. Gray, we want our children to be something else. And I had to realize that she doesn't just have my DNA. She has her dad's DNA, her grandparents' DNA, paternally and maternally. And then plus she has who God has predestined and preordained her to be. So I need to step out of the way. She's borrowed.
That's the DNA. That is the DNA.
She is
right.
mine. So yes, thank
that,
you.
God has given her, when she taps into that DNA, that she'll become, who she's been ordained to be. Amazing. And I believe when you and I spoke the other night, Tina, I was telling you that I felt it was time for me to step back as well with my daughter. Sometimes as parents, and a lot of our children don't understand that when we are, they see it as being aggressive, but we're passionate, and because we love them so much, we want to push them, into greatness. And the things that we've already experienced, whether it was good or bad, whether there were mistakes or not, we don't want them to make the same mistakes. We don't want them to fall into the same pitfalls that we've already experienced. And so we try to keep them from doing that. But I've learned in this season, I need to step back. She has seen, she knows, so therefore she just has to go forth with it. Miss Candy, you've got three daughters.
Wow, awesome. Wow. Girls.
Yes. Can you hear us?
Yeah. I can hear you sometimes. I can hear you clearly now. I can hear you clearly now.
So tell us about, having three daughters.
Well, when you were, I didn't hear Dietrich's question, but when you spoke of the shame and the stigma that's attached to single moms, that hit home for me, because like I said, I left home as a single mom of one daughter, and then I came back to Louisiana as a divorced single mom of three girls. So I wanted to make sure that my children didn't look like that they came from a home of a single mom. So I was very hard on them. And they had to be perfect. They had to have the straight A's. They had to look pretty at all times. I had change of clothes in the car in a diaper bag, just in case they got a stain from being children. They had to be perfect, look perfect, be Vaseline real good, nice and shiny, to make sure that they didn't look like they came from a home of a single mom. So I realized one day when I was talking to one of my daughters, and they were all of that. They were all of that. I had one daughter who started walking. I think her first steps was at 5 months old. The other daughter, her first steps was at 8 months old. And one daughter eating perfectly, sitting up at the table, 9 months old with a fork, eating salad at the restaurant. So, wow. And to other people that may not seem normal, but to me, that's what I expected, because none of my children could look like they came from a home of a single mom. And I just remember as they started growing up, and then they were perfect in every way, and behavior and grades and walk and talk and look. And then I realized in conversation one day when I said something, my daughter said something, I guess our communication crossed. I was supposed to celebrate something, and I missed the opportunity because I took it as a teaching moment or a critique moment. And I seen the disposition of her face change.
Yeah.
And I said, enough. It's enough that I had the outside world critiquing and defining what a single mom should be, and what her household, what her children look like. They're menaces to society, and they this and they're that. But no more to get to define what goes on in this household. So everyone started having the freedom to be who they were in their glory, in their own personalities and their own characteristics. I started celebrating them and their imperfections, their beautiful flaws. I start celebrating them, and I started correcting those who wanted to correct my children. I had one daughter who always said that she wanted to be a pastor or a preacher. And the teachers would tell her, well, choose a real career. I said, no, you don't get to define what God has put into her. I said, God has given us a plan for our lives and a purpose for our lives. That is her purpose. If she said it out of her mouth, you don't get to define that for her. I said, if you didn't come here to nurture it, to help her hone in on that skill and give life to the gift that's been given to her, you don't dare get to destroy it. So I started being an advocate for their individualities. I started finding that I found that there was a power in asking. I started looking for the tools and the village and the people around them to help them in their own ideals of life. That's how I ran into a lot of the people that I'm friends with on Facebook. Steen, which is Geneva Vanderhurst. She has a college program, a scholarship program where she take the children on college tours, and she teach them how to get scholarships for college. They worked on political campaigns. They've been to places that I haven't even been. But I wanted to make sure that I start pulling on those people who are around me, because single does not mean alone. Single means whole and complete. And I had to learn that there was a power in asking, because I did stop asking at one point because I was getting the no's. Like for me, child support was things I knew about but never seen. So I always did get the no's. Some people have beautiful co-parent stories. That is not my case. So I always knew that it was up. If it had to be, it was up to me. But then I had to start breaking down that saying and saying, no, keep asking. Because like Mordecai said, if it don't come through you, Esther, it'll come through another. So I realized the person who said no, no means next. So my blessing wasn't meant or ordained for it to come through the person who said no. But keep asking until I got my yes, because if there's a question in the earth realm, that's also an answer. And I just have to put the two together so I continue to win forward.
Wow.
Absolutely. And that's you didn't hear the question, but you're right on time. Okay. You're right in what they say, you're in the vein, you're in the vein, ma'am. Okay. Did we lose her?
No, her camera.
Oh,
yeah, okay. We lost both pictures.
Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, you definitely can still call in. We just have a few more minutes left. 678-381-1973. If you had any questions, or if you wanted to just chime in and say anything, we would love to hear from you.
I love what Candy just said, Deidre. No means next. That's powerful. That's powerful. I think if that was something that had been instilled in us from the very beginning, my God, there would be so much more that we would be able to do. Because when most times people, when they hear the word no, they look at it as a form of rejection, as opposed to celebrating what's ahead. And she is absolutely right. I had to come to a place where, if someone didn't do something for me, I had to learn that if someone didn't do what they said they were going to do, then God did not want that person to be the one to do it, that he wanted to be the one to provide it, because they would get the glory rather than him getting the glory. And so I had to start looking at things in that way. When I first started pastoring a church and building it, up from planting it from the ground up, there were other pastors who I went to and said, hey, do you have a sound system that I could use? Do you have instruments? Do you have whatever? And they would say yes, but then I would never get it. And I quickly learned, that God did not want me to receive it from them, because then they would have the opportunity to say, well, I did this for her. And when I tell you that God provided, I mean, it was ridiculous the amount of things, and people just driving by on the street would stop and say, "Hey, do you guys need this?" And they would give it, but that was God. And so if we learn that and teach that to our children and our grandchildren, that no simply means next.
Yes.
And
another great point, that I'm sorry, that she had as well, that I was listening to, was the experience that she had, with the girls. Okay, girls, we cannot look like this. We can't be like this. I have to make sure that you're looking this way, because I'm seeing you will not reflect the single motherhood of what people think it should look like. But then when she stopped and she said enough, at that time was when she had a full experience that her children were a blessing. She had the chance to absorb and be, you know what? Yes, we have life. We have things that we have to do. We do have to look and present ourselves a certain way, but that's not the motive or the objective. The motive is that I put everything that I can into you to push you towards your purpose and your destiny that God has called forth in your life. That's my responsibility, to nurture that, to intercede, to do everything that I should do as a mother to push that forward. So my big thing for me when I was in this space, because I was working, I'm such a firm believer that anything is possible. It's so much to where I have it tattooed. It's a dragonfly is a symbol of anything is possible. I have that tattooed on me just as a reminder over and over. Anything is possible. So with that being said, and moving in that, you can get so busy and you're like, okay, I got to do this. I have to provide this. I have to make sure that they see me as this way. They have to do this and blah, 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 blah. To where I had 5 kids with 5 different personalities and things going on the inside. And I remember when I was younger and my grandparents were there, they were my angels and they raised me. My mom was there. My dad was, had some estranged relationships with my parents, but my grandparents were my foundation. And if it was not for them, I wouldn't be who I am today. Okay. So with that being said, somebody forgot about the matters of my heart. So it was important to me that I didn't get in the rigmarole of running because I'm trying to take care of this. Oh Lord, my lights got cut off. Oh Lord, and then took my car out the yard. It's been repoed. What am I gonna do? Right? And so I wanted God to plant my feet and to establish me so that I can watch them grow and be able to see them as a blessing and not a burden, because they're not.
That's right.
So my position, in that was to, God, do what you're going to do in me. I accept the purpose, the plan. I accept where I am right now. Move and navigate me so that I can be able to come home, look at my son or look at my daughter and say, something's off. What's going on? Not be so tired from working and trying to make a life and trying to do this, to where I can even stop and be clear enough to hear in the spirit what's happening with them. Because sometimes, or a lot of times, you can't just look at them. You got to be like, God, talk to me and tell me what's going on. Show me what it is. And if you're so busy and you're so tired, I can't even hear you. So that was alone just a blessing to be able to hear, Candy, that how you navigated that space, even for your children, to give them a voice as well.
Yeah. Tina, I think you wanted to chime in here.
Well, now, I mean, like, Deidre just got on fire. She was like, that's her. You could tell they forgot about the matters of her heart, because that's what she was speaking of, the abundance of her heart, and I could just see that in her. I want to share about that, but I wanted to talk about when Candy said that there's someone that has a college program. I wanted to share with you ladies and our listeners that I have a nonprofit and it's called Her Business Matters. And the reason we target junior high school students is because most people forget about them. Every scholarship, every program is majority is for high school and collegiate students. And at, the junior high school level is where they're coming into puberty. They're coming to get to know who they are. They're identifying who they are, whether they're blooming, physically or wanting to be a part of a certain group. And so we wanted to give them something to transition or to concentrate on outside of, this guy doesn't like me because I don't have any boobs, I'm flat chested, or because I like my hair orange, or, we wanted to give them an outlet so they can be creative and get to know who they are. And so we allow them to create businesses, and it's called Her Business Matters. And what we do is we help young girls ages 9, and it used to just be to 15, and we went into 19 because there's so many girls that wanted to be a part of it. And we teach them how to master self. And self is an acronym for science, entrepreneurship, leadership, and financial literacy. And so we have, how we all go to conferences and we see people at tables. So we give conferences in schools, in their auditorium, and they're 6-foot tables with 2 chairs. And you have to stop at every single young girl's station. One is selling cookies, one is threading eyebrows, one is doing braids or weaves. One of the girls, she can help you set up your Facebook page or your Instagram. It is just so amazing. And these girls are loving it. One of them made $1,500 in a week. And we helped her open up a savings account. And she did it by doing 2 things. She was braiding hair. And at first she was like, I don't have a business inside of me. I kept telling her, well, you have one. I said, here's $20. I want you to go to Ralph's. And I want you to buy that Pillsbury dough, that cookie dough. And I want you to make the cookies really big. Buy 4 of those, make them really big. And you're going to sell a bag, 3 little ones for $5 or a big one for $3. And she made $60 in a day. And she was so ecstatic. She was like, oh my gosh, I never told you, but what I really want to do is I just really want to get, a perm because my hair is nappy and I want to get a perm. I'm like, your hair is not nappy. She's like, but everyone called me nappy head, so I want to get a perm and whatever. So what we did is she wanted to get a perm. Her mother couldn't, afford it. They had to think about other things. And so she finally, got her perm, and her self-esteem, her morale is so much better, and we're not here to say, oh, you don't need a perm and that's this, and you don't want to be like that. No, we want them to feel good about who they are, because what I do know is when we look good, we feel good. When we feel good, we perform better. And that's exactly, their grades are skyrocketing. They're making an income. They're saving for their own college or for their own business, whatever their desire is. And so I am stoked. I love seeing these young girls flourish. I love the fact that it's decreasing promiscuity, teenage pregnancy, and when they're going to high school, like they are already there, and they're there to compete. They're there to compete. They're not there to play. They're not trying to figure it out. They know what they want to be. They know what they want to do, or at least the industry, and they're going for it. And I absolutely adore that. It's so rewarding, and that's what I wish I had that.
That's a beautiful program. That's amazing.
We need a chapter of that here.
Done.
That's incredible, because you're right. I mean, at that age, they're trying to find themselves.
Yes.
You were talking about it. I kind of went back to that period in my life, and I had no clue who I was or anything, nothing. So that's amazing.
You know what, Pastor Charmaine, to see the community, to see the parents, the teachers, the firemen, the police officers come and purchase from these girls. They're like, they have a real business. And so we're right now looking for a vendor to get them some briefcases, because I want them to have briefcases. I have a friend who has a printer. We're making them business cards. Like, they are official, they are bona fide. And their parents are like, where's she getting this money from? I'm like, she's sold cookies. Like, some of their parents, they don't know, and it's okay, right? So sometimes we find ourselves educating the parents as well, and seeing, what kind of gifts they have that they want to share with the world as well. So for me, I've made a lot of money. I don't want to boast or brag at all, but for me, it's not about success. We've all have had a level of success. For me, it's truly about living a life of contribution and significance. And that's where I am now. That's where I am now. It's contribution and significance. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that giving these young girls this program, I know that they're not going to have to sleep with someone because they want money, or they're not going to have to join a gang to feel a part of, or feel confident, or feel loved. I know for a fact that they're going to make better decisions. I know that they're going to be able to help their parents. I know that they finally, have their business or their career. Because here's something, when I say career, I believe that your career is what you're paid for, but your calling is what you're made for. So we're going to have a lot of more people operating their calling than simply looking for a career.
Awesome. Amazing. I love it.
I know.
Right,
I mean, she's
passing out prosperity, people, because my hand started itching immediately while she was talking. Yeah. I don't care what y'all say. When my right hand itches, guess what? Money, honey. Money.
That's funny that you said that, because I'm doing a webinar on Sunday, and it's called Pivot, Position, and Prosper. Pivotpositionprosper.com, pivotpositionprosper.com, because I want to show people how even in the midst of a pandemic, and there are still, 13 days left, I believe that, there's still time to pivot. There's still time to be positioned, and there's still time to prosper. Do not wait to January 1. Who said that? No. Remember, wake up and winning no matter what.
Yes.
So every 13 days left, you can do something. And I pivoted. I mean, I'm accustomed to traveling, all over, speaking on stages, training, just everything, having an absolute blast. And COVID, it restricted me. So I'm like, okay. And I've always been resourceful. I had a mentor that says, Tina, find out where the world is going and get there during the first wave. You don't have to be first, but get there during the first wave, and you will become a multi-millionaire. And so I was like, okay. He said, you'll become wildly successful. Okay, no problem. And so when I thought about the pandemic, I thought about, of course, masks, right? Because you have to have it. They're not mandated, but they're required. You can't do business without. It's kind of funny, but that's another story. And so I saw people going and crocheting and, sewing and blinging them out. I'm not domesticated at all, nor am I interested in being. And so that's not what I'm going to do. So I said, okay, you know what? The medical clinics, I thought about first responders, et cetera. I said, you know what? I'm going to sell masks. I had no idea. I was invited on a call with it's called the Black Health Trust, because my background is medicine. I am a PA. And so I have some connections in the medical field. And I'm on that call, and I don't know what possessed me to say, hey, if anyone is looking for masks, I can get them for you. I don't know why I said that. I have no idea. Yes, I have to scratch my head and repent. So people start reaching out to me for masks, and I made a few phone calls, and I was able to connect and get masks at a time when they were very scarce, and provide them to clinics. And I have some clients that my first order for the mask, it was a $50,000 order. And the profit margin was ridiculous, and it was absolutely incredible. And I was excited. And then my next order came in $40,000, and I just got another order for $106,000. And so I was able to make get orders of over 200,000 and make a six-figure income from April to November. To do that. And so I just want to let people know that just because you've been a teacher for 20 years doesn't mean that you have to be a teacher for the rest of your life. Just because you're good at accounting, you don't have to always have an accounting firm and count other people's money. No, you can teach it. You can start another business. I'm encouraging women to step not outside the box. I'm saying step outside your industry and make money in another industry. Because when one industry is plummeting, another industry is skyrocketing. That's just the reality. And I want every woman to be involved in at least 3 industries. That's all I ask, just 3 industries, whatever you want. You can be in coaching, you can, that's great. You're a coach, you can speak, and you have a book. That's great. But are you making money from them? Let me show you how to earn an income from it. Don't just have it just for the sake of, bragging rights. Oh, I'm an author. I'm a best-selling author. I'm an international best-selling author. Oh, I'm a coach. I'm a speaker. I'm make money at it, you guys. Make money at it. And I can show you how to make money on Facebook. I was sharing with Pastor Charmaine. I said, hey, if you're on Facebook and you're not making money, it's a waste book. You're wasting your time. Let's build some real relationships and make money. Like, it's a free platform. You talk about you don't have money for advertising, you have an advertisement budget. Let me show you how to advertise without being salesy on your Facebook page. Nobody will know. Awesome. Like, there's so many things that we can do. For me, I mean, I'm all about the bottom line. That's what matters, because at the end of the day, it is your bottom line that will cause you to say, okay, I'm going to expand my business, or I'm going to scale back my business, or downright close it down. And I don't want you to do either. Ladies, and I'm speaking specifically for ladies, and I'm not taking away for any gentleman or any king that's listening to the sound of my voice. You are a king all by yourself, and we applaud you. But my heart, my passion, I don't know about, a man, right? I've never been married. I am a woman, and I know what I've been through. I can identify better with women. And so that is my passion. I am here to help all of my sisters, all of the queens, all of the boss babes, girl bosses, goal sisters, whatever we want to call ourselves, because we are all of that, and a bag of chips with guacamole on the side. We're all of that, women. We're all of that. We are walking in our birthright, just being who we are. And so that's what I do, Pastor Charmaine. And I thank you for, so that's, I'm passionate about it, because I'm telling you guys, well, I'll save it.
I love it. I love it. Well, listen, we are at the end of the show. And so before we go, we'll start with you, Tina. Go ahead and tell our listeners, our viewers, how they can reach you, your social media, email, website, everything.
And book information as well.
Well, you know what? Here's the deal. You can just contact me at info@tinadlewis.com. That's info @tinadlewis.com. My social media is everything Tina D. Lewis. I believe in being congruent across all platforms. And so be congruent across all platforms, ladies and gentlemen, congruent against all platforms. Instagram, Tina D. Lewis, Facebook, Tina D. Lewis, Twitter, Tina D. Lewis, as well as LinkedIn. And so I just want to simply invite you guys to a webinar tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. It is pivotpositionprosper.com. I want you to check it out. Here's the deal. We have 13 days left. I want to know what you're doing, but most importantly, I want to show you what you can do either less of or more of. I want to show you how to make more money by working less and create the lifestyle that people envy. That's exactly what I want to teach you. I want to get to your bottom line. So reach out to me if you have any questions, but most importantly, get on the webinar. I want to pour into you. I want to give you what I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars learning, coaching, mentorship. I mean, I spent money that I did not even have. I spent other people's money, borrowed money to get what I have. And now I feel that my cup runneth over, and I want to pour into the lives of my people. I want to pour into the lives of women. And so with that said, I thank Charmaine and Dietrich for allowing me to be here on this platform. And I thank the infamous Queen Wanda D. Hollis. I bow down to her.
To the Queen.
Inviting me into the collab, inviting me into the anthology, and inviting me to this platform. And with that said, you guys, that is my story, and I am sticking to it. I'm going to pass it over to my sister, Candace.
Candy.
You're on mute, Candy.
There you go.
Yes, Candy. Candy, Tina, I share that very same sentiment, Tina. Thank you, Wanda D. Hollis, for introducing me to these beautiful ladies. I learned a lot today from you all. Pastor Charmaine, thank you. Deidre, thank you. I am mainly on Facebook as Candy Xenon Author. I am on Instagram as well, Candy Xenon, all platforms, Candy Xenon. And also, I have a Facebook group that I would like to invite single moms to. It's called Sage, the Season and the Singles. Is the whole idea of Sage is the partner, just like Miss Mary came to me and helped me organize my day, taught me about investments and paying my bills and raising my children. I want you to partner with senior citizens so that they are able to pour into you and help you do the same. The whole idea of Sage is for you to get through life a little easier, a little better, get over the obstacles with the information. Sage, Sage, I would say it fosters two relationships. One is a biblical mandate, the elder shall teach the younger. And also it fosters the relationships of those who did not get a sugar mama, a Medea, or a big mama. So it gives ones who didn't have grandparents to now have an opportunity to have grandparents. We do have male and females in the group Sage. So if you have any questions for me, please reach out on Facebook Messenger at Candy Xenon Author. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Listen, to our viewers that are here in the state of Georgia, do not forget that we are in the midst of a very important election. We've got two Senate seats that are at stake, and we need you to go out and vote. I've got to say that, my candidates are Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff. Oh, and also don't forget to vote for Mr. Daniel Blackman as well. He has a runoff going on as well here in the state of Georgia. So we're asking all of our viewers and listeners to please go out and vote. This is a very important election, and we need your participation. Deidre?
Yes, and we did it before, and we can do it again. Come on, Blue.
Awesome.
Where are you?
We doing some stuff over here in Georgia.
Come through, Blue.
Y'all, we already
Dr.
knew
Dietrich, you know what?
we already knew who we were. We just let the world know, okay? But we've been this way, just so you guys know. But it's been amazing. It's been great to have you ladies on the show today. Oh my God.
Incredible. Incredible.
And the wonderful words. Oh my goodness. It was just amazing. And we are so grateful that you guys decided, because just as you are thanking us, we're thanking you, because we wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for such beautiful, intelligent, amazing women such as you. So Thank you for being a part of our show, being a part of our vision.
Thank you.
Tina, I will be on your webinar.
Me too.
5 o'clock. Pivot, position, prosper.
Pivot, position, and prosper. I love it.
.com. I will be registering for that. I will not miss it, and we invite all of our listeners and viewers to join her on that webinar as well. And do not forget to purchase a copy of Wake Up Winning.
Yes. Wake Up Winning. Volume 2.
Wake Up Winning.
Volume 2.
No matter what. No.
I got
Listen, guys. Listen, we are Real Women Atlanta Live. I am your host, joined by my co-host, Deidre Gary. We will see you here next week, same place, same time. Thank you, Raheem. We love you.
Thank you, Raheem.
Enjoy your weekend. Bye. Bye-bye.
How do I get out of here, Raheem?